All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, June 20th. Tomorrow is the summer solstice. I think that's summer is officially going to be here, guys. Aren't you excited? I'm excited.
I'm so excited. TGIF, TWF. That's thank God it's Friday, Triple Witching Friday. Welcome to crazy amounts of liquidity everywhere as everyone scrambles to, um, you know, make their options work out one way or the other. All sort of different time scales, different agendas, and it just means a lot of money sloshing around today. Um,
Yep.
I don't know. Go ahead, Matt. Tell us why.
Yeah, let's
Tell
get
us why I'm
started.
excited.
All right, well, there's nothing exciting about the SPY, so I think
Wah, wah.
this kind of signals, in my opinion, more risk on than anything else. So it's losing this fib level of 598, and you go to the daily chart here. We can go to the Ichimoku. It's also getting back under the conversion line too at 600. So it looks like it just wants to consolidate, right? Be a little bit boring here. So SPY, that's a good thing for risk on. So I think let it consolidate, let it go down to the mid 590s. That's fine too, if it wants to. But it's fine. So it's just going to find a new support somewhere, a new higher low before trying to go higher. And then QQQ, it's also underneath that conversion line too, but it's still nicely above the 886. So this is showing outperformance of even the SPY, which is a good thing. And it's even up pre-market, unlike the SPY. So 525, that's still our support. Resistance is 600, sorry, 531 and 540 above, right? This is our resistance zone. And all-time highs could be coming soon, but it might need a back test first of a little bit lower levels before breaking out. And IWM, this one's up a whole 1% right now, and it's actually gapping up today, which is even a better indicator of a risk-on environment, in my opinion. And this is showing that maybe it's going to get back above this 211.86 conversion line. Maybe it wants to go back and tackle the 213, 214, 215 zone, maybe even back to the 618. So this is a very good development, especially after this 208 zone held perfectly as a back test already for the past 4 days in a row. So there we go. I think some more risk-on clues are in front of our eyes. I made a lot of posts over the holiday yesterday, just showing that a lot of risk-on stuff is developing, and evidenced by the SPY going down and the QQQ kind of flat and the IWM outperforming. So we'll take it to Bitcoin over here just to see what it's been doing over the last 24 hours. And it's kind of just flat, right? It's just a little bit flat. It was down a little bit yesterday. It was a low volume melt down, but it just doesn't really matter because the markets were closed. The stock market for the US was closed. So just not much activity going on yesterday, but still maintaining that 103,611, still maintaining things perfectly. So I'm also watching that 105,500 level as well, still above that as well. So this is a very healthy development month over month, week over week, day over day. It's all looking very, very good for Bitcoin for the potential to continue its journey higher once this sideways action is completed.
Yeah, it's just Bill. It's the Bollinger Bands are getting squeezy, squeezy,
Yeah, they are.
as Cat would say if he was here. I'm going to try to just. I'm not going to try to explain a lot of my charts today. I'm just going to, for because of the time, I'm just going to give you numbers and stuff, give you my targets. Here's Bitcoin, and I'm just looking for it to jump up out of the top of this triangle and head to, I think, 119,710 for the 141 fib extension. I mean, sorry, fib retracement. So I posted these charts. You've seen the charts. We're over my 8-hour moving average 75. And was it this one that had a cross? Not this one. Anyway, it's just, and now, look here on the 15-minute chart. It's just going, it's just building. It's getting squeezy, squeezy here too after running up. Oh, yeah, here it is. Look, we've got a bullish cross on the 15-minute chart of my moving average 75 to the moving average 300. So anyway, I'm just looking for 120,000 on this one now. And then Tesla. Oh, you know what? Well, I've got this chart up. I promised that the Smarter Web company would get a smarter chart for me, and here it is. SWC. It didn't have a lot of information to go on, but based on this little pullback here, I've been able to create, both a retracement level targeting 5079 for the 141, and yeah, about let's see, it's gonna hit 507.90, then pull back to 373.45. My wave three top is 736, 730, $730.06, and then wave five top 1,087. But I wanted to show Tesla. So I had a couple scenarios for Tesla as well. One is that it drops back down to touch my 236 one more time. See here, it kind of bullishly engulfed, and it almost had a touchback, but not quite. It did a touchback to the 618. A perfect touchback would be great, but on the other hand, maybe it just wants to go. So anyway, overall, whatever it pulls back or doesn't pull back to, my next target is still 350.74, then back to the 328.72, and then after that, it can go on to this zone, probably maybe this 432.08. I've got here 431 to 444, but that's kind of it. That's what I'm looking for anyway. Oh, and then overall, it goes to 509.711. All right, now let's see. Oh, and then the VIX, I just posted this, but here's VIX in the predominant downtrend. Here's where we are now. We're below the MA75 on the 1 hour chart, and we're heading for that moving average 300. It might be initially resistance like it was here, but since this is the second time it's going to go after it, I said I wasn't going to explain things. Anyway, overall, take profits line might be lining up to hit around Friday, July 18th. Might be where we get the peak of all the excitement. Maybe. Let's see, requests. MicroStrategy and cores. Now, Matt's going to have a better MicroStrategy chart, but here is what I've got right here. My MicroStrategy was going to go all the way down to 351.22, but now I think. Are you on there? No, you're not on there. Hang on one second. I just need to add something. Oh, wait, 269, not 296. I'm so excited. Yes, there it is, the 269. So it might just take off from here. MicroStrategy and MSTX, I would say Coin has led the way, and I think MicroStrategy is ready to go next. Matt, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to show one thing about MicroStrategy, and I gotta switch my screen.
26.9, Matt. 26.9.
26.9. I just wanted to point out mainly the MSTR chart. Since it broke the conversion line right here in April, it finally backtested it this week. So that was actually 2 days ago on Wednesday. So it's good, right? It has potential to actually reverse now that it finally did touch it. And yeah, there is a lot more support below if it chose to go down there, but I think it's good, right? It looks like it's a breakout. And finally, after a month and a half, 2 months of just consolidating down to sideways, and I think it's there. So it still is under resistance, 392. We're not going to get more bullish until this 421.18 breaks, but I think it's in a very nice range from basically the high 360s down towards the 350s. Very, very beautiful chart. And I'd also had a Core Z as well for that. And it's also building a nice foundation on top of this fib right here, the 1172, and the 50-week moving average, and the baseline. So it's a breakout, backtest inside the cloud too, right? That's a good development here. So keep staying above this 1170 or even the baseline down there, 1140s, and I think it'll be good. But price might need to gravitate closer to this blue angle at some point too before trying to go break out higher. But either way, going back down to that 50% level there is a perfect way to find a bottom, and now it has potential to go to the top of the cloud, which is around 14, 15 and above. So it's looking good. In fact, all the miners are looking good, and I think they're about to blow people's minds, and they have a lot of PTSD in them. So things could be really, really explosive for the miners, especially if we get an altcoin and IWM breakout.
If only they would take turns, so I could just do one, then the next one, and then one. But no, it'll be all at once.
Yeah, that'll be too easy if it's that way.
I know, right? Except maybe Bitfarms. Maybe Bitfarms will continue to lag a little bit. that was my dark horse there. I was hoping I could. Anyway, here's my Core Z chart that Matt's going to switch over to. Thanks, Matt. Based on the retracement fibs and my extension fibs on the right, I'm targeting 1632 for Core Z. Then it drops back to 1007, then 2645. Take your screenshot, and I'll move on to the next one here. Oscar, and then Con L. These are positions I rotated into on Wednesday, back into because I was in Oscar, left Oscar to do something else, and then when it did this, I got back in. So Oscar, my target is 2658 to 2781, and then a little bit of a bounce off back to its 50% retrace at 1953, which lines up really nicely with my 382 at 1950. So that's what I'm looking for Oscar. So you take your screenshot right there, and then Con L looks like this. Con L will go to 4196 or 4252. That's what I would say. 4196 or 4252. Maybe this 4036 because it's the 141 of the smaller degree, but I think these larger two numbers will take over. Then it drops back to you can re-enter lower than where we are now. About this 886, 2855 to my 236 at 2926. And there's your turns for Con L. I don't know if I've got APP ready. I might throw it back to you, Matt, in a second here. Well, my APP chart says the 764 at 547.34. Then it comes back to, let me get this out of the way, 368.94, and then up to 767. So you can take a screenshot of that. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Matt. I'll throw it back to you now, actually, because then there's ARKW and ARKF.
I got GANs for those
and I'll work on.
I got GANs for those ARKW and ARKF.
Yeah,
so I'll show that. But I have my APP chart too, and I thought this was predictable here because I kind of warned last time that it's probably going to get in a big resistance zone here. And sure enough, it even got in a big resistance zone with this left shoulder for this head and shoulders, right? Right here, it got rejected. So getting rejected there means a retrace. And where is the retrace going to happen? Well, maybe down to the 332, maybe the conversion line down here at the 325. Or just consolidate a little bit sideways to go higher. But right now it is still also trying to maintain this blue angle. If it does succeed, then it can recover quicker. But if it does start to break below this angle, then it's going to take longer of a consolidation before it really wants to break higher. So we could just be waiting for enough time to pass to basically touch the cloud over here. So that's what I'll be watching there for app 11, right? Just see if it can go break above this angle, keep above, or if it breaks below, then it's going to go more sideways. So either way, I think it's not ready to break into all-time highs yet. It's a lot of resistance up here to break through, but I think it can eventually, but more sideways first before. Yeah, ARKW, ARKW. I do have a GAN for that, and it broke a level, right? It broke this blue level here 2 weeks ago, back tested it, continued its pursuit higher, broke above the 786, and there we go. It's going off to the races, right? And I don't know if any of you watched the videos I made last year about all the ARKKs and stuff, ARKK, ARKW, ARK, whatever F. And I made it when they were all like right here, right back in September of last year. I'm like, yeah, it's going higher. The chart is set up to break out. And sure enough, we got to break out a massive back test, right? But the back test just went right back down to the 200-week moving average. Not a bearish chart at all. That was really a good opportunity. But now it does have potential to go higher. And as long as it stays above my 128, 133 zone, I think that potential to go higher is there. And same with ARKF. This is loading for some reason. Let's see here.
It's just a crazy day. Everyone was trying to use their trading view at the same time.
Yeah. Uh-oh, is trading view down now? It's not working.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my trading. I'll switch it back to you.
If they want to hurt retail, that's where they should do that. Instead of shutting down Robinhood, they should just shut down TradingView, and you'd all be like flying blind.
I don't know. Did that server just go down or something? Because It does not want to load anything. So yeah, I'll switch it back to you, Tracker.
Oh crap! Yeah, look at that. All right, so I've got Neptune Digital Assets here, NPPTF, and I did build a chart out of this. I'm going to go for instead of here's the whole thing, but let's just get a little closer because the wave 5 isn't really relevant yet. So wave 1 goes to the 786 at a done back to not this one. I'm sorry, this one here. 618. I'm sorry, this 618 at $1.55. Why would we go to the 382? Let's go to the 23. What have I done here? What have I done? Oh, hang on. Undo what I just did. Are you extension or retrace? You're a retrace. Oh, here. It's way over here. I'm sorry. It was off the screen. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. So it goes to the 382, 236 is what I'm looking for at minimum. That's kind of this 886 to 702 back here. So $1.59, then back to $1.31. Be careful though, if it might go back down to $1.11. So if it breaks below $1.31, $1.11 is where it's actually going to go to. I'll just do like that. But then it should target 327 back to 235. Overall, the price action on this looks pretty sweet. From where price is right now, that would be 60% higher here. Roughly, I'm kind of missing some crucial points of about 200% higher on the side. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many requests. And let's see. AMD is exactly the same, guys. It's exactly the same. Just watch any previous show. RKLB. You know, I need to show ASTS because it's at resistance for me. But here's Rocket Lab. Oh, it's also at resistance for me. My Rocket Lab topped out at 32.26. I'm expecting it to drop back down to 21.10. If I'm wrong, it goes to 36.52 and then drops back to 25.36. Here's my ASTS chart, though. This one's a little bit more refined. It's just about at resistance. Okay, this one goes to 46.81. Oh, wait. We already hit it in pre-market. That's what it was. Let me go to 8-hour chart. Yeah, we already touched. I guess in the at the market open, it should hit 46.81, and then it's going to drop back to 32.16. So mind those turns there. If I'm wrong, if it goes higher than, gosh darn it, don't move. If it goes higher than 46.81, it means it's going to go to the 127 of this 141 here, 50.76 or 56.21, and then drop back. But no, I think it's going to do this first. Let's see. EUSE. It is a little slow. Our EUSE, it's already found support down here. It's ready to just go. So it's going to go like 150%, maybe it's like 140, 144% higher now to this 1382 at 1140. My next target is higher than the initial public offering at 1050, 1140 for EUSE. But watch the turns here at 953 and 879 as we get up there. Also 676 and 580. We'll hit some turns going up there. How about back to you, Matt? And I'll.
Yeah, I got my.
I can just.
I got my ARKF, and I see some crypto in there that I'll jump on. Here's my ARKF, and yeah, it's also breaking above the 786. That's the theme for a lot of the ARK stuff. The ARK FinTech, it's 46.15. So if this closes today, this week above it, that's the first weekly candle close back above that 786 since the massive breakdown in November 2021. So that's a big deal. And if that does flip to support, guess what? The ARK up here comes next, which is going to be the 886 zone, 53.96, and then it's off to all-time highs at my blue level. So a very healthy development, and Kathy Wood is probably going to be a genius again pretty soon because her funds are going to outperform. She was a terrible person throughout this whole downtrend, but now she's going to be a genius again, right? That's how it works. People hate you when they lose money. People hate you when they lose money, but when they make money,
That's
you're smart. And yeah, let me go do some crypto here. I'll do ADA. Where is ADA? Yeah, here it is. So ADA, it lost the 50-week moving average, but it had a destination, and I think it hit. And I think this 382 has potential to stabilize. It is a higher low here, and it's also a higher low from here. So all these wicks here are turning into higher lows. So it's a good formation. It's good. It's a good thing. There is the 100-week moving average down there at 0.5473. So that could be possible again too, because it already did touch it once. But right now it's kind of stabilizing right here. So let's see this 382 hold, build a base, and it goes higher. So I mean, everything really looks like it's in a nice support zone at these levels or a little bit lower. So whoever's fearful about altcoins now, I think they're doing it wrong. I think they have really the potential to start to gear up and to do a lot more bullish things than people really realize. So with that, I see a couple more Solana and Sui too. So I'll jump on that. So Solana, it's holding this black line that I created here, and that's basically a big zone of support resistance, supports and resistance, and it was a breakdown level, breakout back test level. So there we are. I think it doesn't really need to go back to the 100-week moving average, but it's possible. 132.38 up to current price. So I think it's another one that looks really good. And it just has this 155, 160, 170, 174 zone to break above. But this is a normal reaction, right? It's a breakout from the ARK, right? It's a breakout back test of the ARK. And then it hit the 886 rejection, and it came back down to find a higher low. That's what basically everything's doing. They got rejected at high time frame resistance, and then they went to get back to find support. So I think it's in an accumulation zone right now, down to the 130s, and it has potential to reverse anytime soon, even before it gets down to those 130s. And lastly here, before I relinquish control, is going to be my SUI chart. And this one also is a beautiful back test, right? So this one has been kind of textbook the whole time, right? Since this orange level, it went up to the 1.414, came back down to my orange GAN level and the 886 zone, and breakout got rejected again at the 1.414, and now it came back to finally touch the cloud for the first time since it broke through the cloud right here. It broke through in September, never back tested it once until the last 3 weeks in a row. And this week even back tested almost the 50-week moving average and the bottom of the cloud and my angle here. So it's also set up to reverse, right? So I can't be bearish about this chart either. And it's in a nice accumulation zone here before it's ready to break out towards the 330, 411, 562, and maybe the blue level above in the $10 range. Back to you, Tracker.
All right, thanks, Matt. Let's see. I've got iBit. I looked up my other chart. What was the question? I don't have a BitW chart, so but here's iBit. I just redrew this, so I think it's going to go to this 764 at the 6827. Basically, it's already argued the 886 to 702 down here. So I think it might get stuck at the 127. If I'm wrong, it goes to 7195 instead of 6901. But 6901, 5546, 8898. Just take a screenshot, and I'll move on to the next one here. CoinConnell hymns. Let's do hymns. I was really looking for more of a pullback on hymns, and I don't think we're going to get it. It just took off after 5109, so never came back down here. Oops. All right, either we're going to get one more hit on the 886 at 6620, and then it sends it back down. That's still possible, but once it gets over the 886, once it gets over 6620, it's going to head to one of these two numbers here next, I think. So, gosh, this chart, HIMS is tough right now, but let's just look for, again, just exactly what I said. If it gets over 6620 and then over 7298, look for 8917 or 9762. That's all I can say for now. If it gets rejected at 6620, it could come back down to this $45 level. Low gains. I wish they would bring Saturday morning cartoons back. Having to find something else to watch in the mornings on weekends is tough enough, let alone on the weekday. That's hilarious. Do I have a KOG chart? If I have KOG, I'll show it. I don't have KOG. I can't. I'm not going to draw that today, but ask me again next time. A-Lab. Is that a crypto?
No, it's not.
MSTR Labs.
But I see a question.
Oh, I do have a chart for this.
I just see a question by Risky Ryan. He says, I didn't invest in Oscar because I don't invest over technical setups only. I didn't have enough time for the proper fundamental analysis on it. How does your guys' process work in a stock like that comes across your radar? Well, I mean, it was a bullish chart, right? And this is where technicals supersede fundamentals. Actually, let me just switch to my Oscar chart just so I can show people what I saw.
Okay. Yeah, please.
And your name is Risky Ryan, and you do fundamentals over technicals. I mean, that should be, you should change your name then, Risky Ryan. That seems pretty that seems pretty conservative to me. Let's see. Yeah, so the setup was there, right?
Conservative column.
The setup was there. Like, all you had to do is just draw parallel channels here, and you can just basically see that this was really in a nice range. You can take off everything else and just look that it was just, since it broke out in January 2024, it just stayed in a long range. It basically consolidated through time and not so much price. So whenever you see this, it's really a bullish setup for an eventual breakout. And then it finally did a liquidity grab V bottom to get people shaken out down here before it really reversed. So basically, I was waiting for all of this for a long time. Like, people were talking about it for a long time, but I didn't start investing it until it went down to the 12s. When I saw this liquidity grab underneath, I'm like, yes, now's the time for me to start buying. So I started buying in the 12s here, and then it broke out, and then I started adding more on the way up in the 14s and the 13s around this 100-week moving average. I don't buy the breakouts. I buy the back test. And now it's broken out again, and now it's coming up to higher time frame resistance for Oscar of 2363. So this was telling a story. It's going to go higher regardless of the fundamentals, right? You can read the fundamentals for like 100,000 hours if you wanted to, but this one setup right here, consolidating through time, not through price, is one of the most bullish things you'll see before a massive breakout. So that's what we're seeing now. And that's why I think people that focus on fundamentals more than technicals are doing it backwards, because this was telling the story before the fundamentals. All right, tracker.
All right. It looks like XRP for stocks.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So here's my ALAB chart. I'm looking for 116 next. It could go to 134.75 instead, and then test back to 89.73 instead of doing this 236. Gosh, just look for 114.16. If it gets above that, resistance will be 134.75, and that's going to want to come back down, and then ask me on Monday. And then Circle, I want to look at this too. CRCL did something crazy apparently. Oh, look at that. So let's see. When I drew this little arrow, I said it could want to go to this 2618. There's no pullback. There's nothing I can do really a fib extension on. No, maybe this to there. But I just looked at this fib retracement, and I said, well, it's already gone past the 141 and the 161. Let's look for the 261. So, I don't know where to tell you where the pullback's going to be on this. It's just we're going to have to wait for it to happen. The next likely target is the 2618. After that is the 3618. So anyway, Circle Internet Group, just nuts. Maybe no, I'll do that later. Let's see, CLSK we did MicroStrategy already. Is my CLSK chart up to date? Overall, just very conservatively, I'm looking for the 382-236 turn. So look for 1501 next for Clean Spark. And I was going to show my Oscar chart. Here's my Oscar chart. See how there's this gap here? Don't worry about that gap. They're going to fill it after they've already hit 2781 to 2658. And then they'll come back and close that gap for this wave circle 2 to 1950 to 1953. So there you go. If you want, there's about 20% left on this on the bone here, 20 to 27%. And then after that, you can just come back in at 1953 to 1950 and get the best part of this, about 100% move to 4124, maybe even 4651. I think it's probably going to go 132, 100%, and then it'll turn through this 127, 141. So anyway, here's let me just pull this like this so you can take a screenshot. There you go. Here's the next 4 turns, next 4 to 6 turns. Uh, PayPal. I don't want to do PayPal. ADA. Do I have ADA? I feel like I just did PayPal. That's all. That's all. I don't have
80 is a
ADA.
crypto. I already did it.
It is
Yeah.
a crypto.
I already did it. I got Grab actually here
Okay,
ready
yeah, do grab.
to run.
Oh, Kenny's cat is here. He says that Oscar has been fart coining.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Just like Coinbase is Palantiring, right? Right, Cat? Right, Cat?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep, yep.
All
Oh,
right.
Roman Belly says my internet sounds normal. That's good. Well, because I'm using Low Gain's hotspot.
All
The
right,
GoFundMe works.
yes, here's Grab. And Grab is retesting the conversion line, retesting the Ichimoku Cloud after trying to hold this 382. It's been a battle, but this is kind of set up similar to what we saw with Oscar, really, right? You got your parallel channel here, right? You got basically stuck inside of it, can't break out of it. It did a liquidity grab below, deep one, right? And now it's set up almost similarly to Oscar. So if you're looking for something to break out and not chase it, this could be one of those opportunities because it's in a support zone now with even more support below if it chose to go to the 440s. But that's just a greater accumulation zone possibility, in my opinion, if it went lower. So I like it. And in fact, I do own it. I might even buy more soon before this breakout happens. And then when it happens, it'll probably go up to 630, maybe even the orange level, $7 range. So it's a great looking chart.
All right, I've got Celsius Holdings. So here's my Celsius chart. Thanks, Matt. I'm looking for this thing is just terrible. Either an ABC retrace back to the 702 at 70.39. So the next turn is actually 50.57. No. Yeah, probably 50.57. Back to 39.63 and then up to 69.63. Or it just bypasses all that, goes straight for the 886 next overall. That'd be 88.44. Drops back down to the 382 at 54.13. Also backtesting the top of the 50% retrace at 50.57. So 50.57 to 54.13. And then goes on to the 141.4 up here at 140.23, which lines up with my 1382 almost perfectly. 140.60 on my right side, 140.23 on the left. So there you go. Celsius Holding. It takes your screenshot there, and that's all you need to know for that for a while. Wow, I made it through all the requests. I guess I will go back and do PayPal just because we blew through all the requests. Maybe we should do like that more often. I don't know. It's more fun to explain things because then it's sort of teachable for you guys. I guess on slower days anyway. Today is not one of those days. PayPal is going for the 702 to 87.14 first. Then I think it's going to have to go back and do a back test of the 50%. Actually, I think it might go to let's look for the 50% first. So if it goes up to the 702 at 87.14 and gets rejected, actually, or 89.02 for my 764, back to 72.43 is where I would normally look for it. But let's look for this 50% first. I know it's hard to read. 76.53. Then it goes to the 127 at 115.84 or 117.09 on the left. All right, that's all you need to know for now. If it really does these 1-2s, then you can look for that 3. Am I missing anything? Let's see. Did we do only Cono and not Coin? Here's Coin. And then Matt's got a better Coin chart. His charts are the best. My Coin, I'm looking for it to probe up through. It's at resistance almost right now from the 702, but I think it's going to penetrate it and go to the 886 at 384, then get rejected back down. I've got 260.11 here. It could actually go to the top of the 50% retrace on the left to 230.55, and hopefully that's as low as it goes. But these numbers are based on my fib extensions on the right. So look for those, but then also pay attention to the retracements on the left. All right, and if you've been listening to all those teachable moments, you would know what I meant by that. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish off with my coin chart actually. So here it is, and one thing I wanted to show you guys is just the linear scale fib from the all-time high to the all-time low. And what do you see here? A big resistance level coming up, and that's the 310.94. And even if you go to log scale, the 318.95 is right above it too. So 318 down to 310, this is our next huge resistance zone to overcome to get a lot more bullish. So people don't want to buy support, but now they want to buy resistance, right? So that's not my style. I like to buy before the breakout, and I was doing accumulation on this back test that we got the last couple of weeks. I bought more Con that way, and now we can see that if it can overcome 310, if it can overcome 318, then we'll see a push to the 344 and maybe towards all-time highs. But right now, it's one step at a time. We'll see how it closes the week. And really, to remain more and more bullish, all it needs is to stay above 277.51, right? Because clearly, resistance here, big zone here, resistance here. So a breakout of that would be super bullish. And even if it backtests at 277, I think that would be the new opportunity for accumulation before it goes higher. So, yeah, I think it's possible, but it doesn't matter what coin does today. As long as 277 remains support, it's going to build another base and go higher. So, beautiful chart. It's going to go to all-time highs, in my opinion. And the 786 here on log scale is proving that. It wants to just go to all-time highs. So, it's only a matter of time before it's going to be palantiring its way to the future.
Woohoo!
All right.
Hey, for Ola, I did do the Kronig Kongsberg Rupen chart KOG. Actually, I'm just finishing right now. As soon as I move this wave 5 up there. So here you can take a screenshot right here, Ola. I think it's going to go to this 127.2 at 424.35, then come back down to essentially the 100% 338.60, then up to my 1382 at 568, back down to this 100% extension at 470.95, and finish off at 823 for my 2382, or maybe the 2618 848 here on the retracement side. It's just gonna be a fantastic Friday, everybody. Look for opportunities everywhere. Yeah, I just wish I could be everywhere all at once, but I can't. I'm looking to make big bucks on Oscar. Hopefully, a long shot on SBET, XXRP. I'm just gonna. I got a bunch of irons in the fire. And they're big irons too. So good luck to you today, Matt, as well. But not that you need it, because you're low and slow.
Low and
Cook
slow.
that meat just right. Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend and a happy start to the summertime for those that live in the northern hemisphere out there. Yeah.
Indeed. Summertime is here. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. TGIF, the Triple Witching Friday.
All right, guys.
TGIF, TWF. That's it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next time.